Hi everyone, welcome to the Prep Zone pregame show. Coming to you live from Staples High School. We are at the Junkyard, where today the Staples Wreckers are going to take on the Stamford Black Knights. And it's a pleasure to have you with me, Jordan Schur, the president of the Westport PAL Association of Basketball and a Staples alum.
Thank you for having me.
Jordan, how are you?
I'm great. Excited for tonight's game.
Of course. Listen, there's so much we want to talk about in this pregame show. But let's start off talking about, you and David have a very good relationship. That you guys are bringing these kids along, seeing the program. Can you talk about how Westport PAL is working with the high school to kind of make sure we're engaged and kind of running one program and one, message throughout?
Yeah, I took over this job. This is my second year, and one of the first priorities when I got the position was let's figure out the best way to sync up Westport basketball from the youngest of ages up into the high school. So Coach Goldshore and I kind of share the same vision. It made it very easy. We have now kind of one philosophy from top to bottom. We try to implement kind of the high school curriculum and philosophy down to the younger ages. We have some of the varsity coaches coaching the 8th graders this year.
Right.
We're trying to do the same thing with Coach Sparks as well.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the first time I heard about stents was a video that you put out on your social media, right? You guys were doing, I think it was a field hockey, like in front of Jenny Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, and you had the parents. Talk about that event, because I know that to me, is something I started following. What was that event? How did you do that? What was it all about?
Sure. Kind of the last 2 August, we've had a kickoff event, and the purpose of the kickoff event is for the PAL to kind of share the program curriculum for 3rd grade up to 8th grade, and then that kind of dovetails into the varsity speech, and Dave and I can kind of align the messaging to everybody.
Yeah, and I know that you were a Staples basketball player. Yeah. And I heard you're not so bad yourself. I know that you come over here and you play with the kids, you guys have a good time. What was your experience like, wearing the S?
Yeah, I mean, basketball has been my passion for basically my entire life. I had some great moments in this gym. Not as much success as these guys today, but the gym looks the same. Uniforms are a little better, but it's just great being close to the team now and following them from freshman year till they graduate, and it's exciting.
Yeah, because I think you have a very unique perspective, because I was talking to some people pregame here, and they're like, "Well, Jordan coached most of these kids."
Yeah, I don't know how long I've known a lot of them, but I feel like I've been following them for a long time. So to see kind of Adam and Sam, and now Roman coming in, and Bowman, all the guys, it's fun.
It really is. I mean, I think this year the team is very, very good. I think it's David. I had him on the podcast, 3rd year. We come in with expectations for this team. From your standpoint, what do you view as an expectation for this team?
This team can walk into any gym in the state and think they have a chance, and just that alone is a special situation. I don't think many teams in Staples history can literally walk into any gym in the state and have a puncher's chance. Within the FCAC, they got pressure on them for the first time. I think, especially tonight, the Stamford team is great. Their best player, I think, got hurt right before the season, so it makes it a little more challenging for them. But Staples is the hunted for the first time.
Yeah, and you mentioned Prezi got hurt. It also happened to Trumbull, right? Was it Trumbull that had to play get hurt as well?
I think the FCAC Finals MVP tore his ACL. So those are the breaks.
The stars are aligning, and you can't take anything away from it, because that's the kind of breaks you get. Some years you do, some years you don't. Yeah. It is what it is. But let's talk about tonight's game then. Like you said, Stamford is they're a good team. They're 4-3, 3-0 in the FCAC. But what do you see the game tonight playing like?
Yeah, I think Staples, the baseline now in every game is defensive pressure. They play harder, and hopefully they hit some shots. And I think that Stanford's probably bigger than any team they've played so far. I think they have some size.
Yeah.
They have athletes. This team has had success in the past, so this will be the best challenge within the FCAC so far.
Yeah, and I was talking to people before the game pregame. It's like Staples they've had Staples numbers a few years back.
Yeah, it's a good team with some upperclassmen, guys that have won a lot of games just like we have, and I think both 3-0 in the conference.
Yeah, they're both 3-0 in the conference. Yeah. It is. And now let's shift gears to, records. What do you think? You mentioned defense, but what do you think of the keys to tonight's game?
How well Staples guards, who wins the defensive battle on the perimeter. I think if Adam and Sam can get to the places they want, that creates for others. I think we'll have a good shot. Conversely, if Stamford can pressure us, get us out of our sets, get into the shot clock, it's going to be a tougher game.
Yeah, and I think the main difference, I remember the team last year, you had that, that spot where Adam and Sam, you knew they're going to get theirs. But it was always like that third man, which of course are going to hit the threes, we all like that. This year the team's a little different.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're more well-rounded.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a little bit of the Sikorsky, Caleb Smith kind of dirty work, and you replace it with a little more skill, I'd say. And Tobias is another year older. Yeah. Bowman is now in the lineup. You got the transfer, so you have a little more offensive skill, but also you got a rebound. So we'll see how well those guys do tonight with the dirty work.
The N stands for no rebounds, no rings, right? You know
rebounds,
that,
no
no rebounds, no rings.
Yep.
But we talk about the FSAC and everything that's going on. I just want to shift gears a little bit to Westport Val.
Sure.
And the program has been going on well, but what's the main challenge that you guys have right now that you'd like to see change within the program?
That's a great question. I think we've, at least initially, really been focused on Westport, where we don't want kids anymore to have to go to neighboring towns to play on teams, to get clinics, to get an extra work. Like, we're really focusing on taking care of our teams, our players. And we had shooting clinics over Christmas break. We're trying to get a few more of those in February. We're aligning with the community. We have sponsors now for every team. Again, we have the high school staff kind of syncing up with our 8th graders and down. We're trying to focus more on let's build up Westport from within and with our own community.
Yeah, because that's the point in keeping the kids engaged, right? And I guess in our world now, everybody's kind of specializing in one sport.
I hate it.
Right? I'm the same way.
I don't believe in it.
I think that kids should be playing all of the sports.
Yep.
And it's great that you say that. But spend on that, what is the vision of the president of Westport Val on that?
Yeah, so, and I've heard Division I college coaches say it, they won't recruit a kid that doesn't play multiple sports. I think it's healthy to play multiple sports. It's great for footwork. It's great for chemistry. It's great for spacing. And I think that, balancing everything is hard. I mean, I have got 3 young kids. Every sport wants all 3 kids, every season. And even now looking ahead to the spring, it's like you could be a soccer player, you're a lacrosse player. So maybe you get 100 shots a week up in the gym, or do 1 hour a week just to stay sharp. So it is probably the hardest thing is finding the balance. Even during our season now, we have kids that play high level soccer, and it conflicts with basketball. It's a long conversation, it's a big conversation, and it's not easy finding that balance. But I think we'll find that the best athletes in Westport are the ones that do play multiple sports.
And that's a good point, because as we've been doing this with Prep Zone, we see it, right? The athletes that kind of excel, some are not, but most of them do play various sports. Yeah. And I had, when you mentioned Caleb earlier, I talked to Caleb, and he mentioned to me, he said, listen, because I had this, the situations in football, I can relate to basketball and make that done. So how strong are your numbers for the basketball in Cal?
Yeah, it's incredible. We have, I think, 210 players in the program this year. Wow. We have 21 teams across 3rd to 8th grade and the boys and girls side. Our teams have been incredibly successful so far. On the boys side, we probably could not take 30 boys per grade on average between the 2 teams.
Okay.
On the girls side, we have 2 teams in 4th grade, 2 teams in 5th grade, 2 teams in 6th grade, 2 teams in 7th grade, 1 team in 8th grade. So we're really trying to build up kind of the depth of the program on both sides.
And you're talking travel.
Travel.
How about rec? Is that something you guys work with, or is that rec totally independent?
So that's operated independently of us,
okay.
But we encourage all of our travel players to play rec.
Yeah.
It's hard. We're travel practices 2 times a week for 90 minutes each, and then you could have anywhere from 1 to 3 games on the weekend. It's hard, but a lot of kids play rec, and it's a nice balance of it's a little bit lighter. Yeah. Travel players go have a good time, get some shots up, and then they get back to work a little bit during their travel games.
Yeah, because I coached rec basketball, like I think 7th grade and I want to say 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
And it was a blast.
Yeah, it's great.
It was like, I remember, I think 7th grade, the games were Wednesday, right? Because of everything out the weekend. And then, going to Bedford gym, and it was so much fun. And, people who are not on it, they should try because it's, fun.
No, rec is great. And, again, you're asking people to fit everything into their schedule, but, anyone that plays rec seems to have a very fun time with it.
It is. Now, the Westport PAL, and I know there's AAU and all that stuff. How are you guys working to get better competition for the players that stay within the PAL?
Yeah, so one thing we're doing, our team's playing 2 leagues. There's the FCBL, which is the Fairfield County Basketball League, and then there's the Milford League.
Okay.
Now, most of our blue teams, the A teams on the boys' side, play up 1 year in the Milford League.
I see.
So our 4th graders are playing 5th graders, 5th playing 6th, and so on. So we try to encourage, the wins and losses is really secondary. We want them to develop, play better competition, put yourself in uncomfortable situations during games so that you can challenge yourself, so that when you get to high school and, you're playing the older ages, you're used to it and you're comfortable and you've had years of kind of repetition.
Now, I want to talk about what you just said. The wins and losses secondary, and I agree with that wholeheartedly, right? I do think, especially the early, it's about development, right? Is that the vision of the program? Can you expand on that? I think that needs to be said.
It's hard. It is the vision, but at the same time, every player is a competitor.
Right.
There's a score on that scoreboard, and our coaches are competitors.
Yeah.
So it's a delicate balance of playing the right way, and if you win the right way, we should feel good about it and be proud of it. At the same time, if one guy's going to shoot 45 shots and we win that way, we don't need to feel good about that. So there's a right and a wrong way to play basketball, and I stand by the coaches we have. I think we have a great stock of coaches, and I think we're playing the right way across the board.
Yeah, and you answered the question exactly how I would have liked, because you said it's about winning the right way. Right, if one player is scaring your team, and then nobody else is involved.
That's it, and I tell the kids all the time, there's good misses and there's bad makes.
Yeah.
You could make a shot and it was contested and your teammate was open and one more pass would have turned an okay shot into a great one.
Yeah.
And you made it, so it's not all results driven.
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm so excited about it, and I think the engagement, and I think Coach Schur told me a couple of times that he really took a job because he wanted to make basketball matter.
Yeah.
In my sport. And I think you guys are doing that.
No, it matters. And a perfect example, this past weekend, the 2nd and 3rd graders finished up a clinic with Coach Pickens. The clinic ends, and who walks in? Sam Klacko. Sam Klacko walks in, the kids swarm him. Sam Klacko had been the scorekeeper the week before for the 3rd grade travel game. Watched them, texted me. It's all one system now.
Yeah.
And, the fact that the 3rd graders will be here tonight watching Klacko, and then maybe next week Adam or Sam or someone else is a scorekeeper at one of their games. And it's just it's a great cycle we got.
It is, and I've had the guys in the podcast, and we've really told them that I don't think, maybe this team is getting a little more, how impactful they are when they just show up somewhere.
No, you think of yourself as just a high school student in Westport, but to someone else, you might be their idol. You might be the person they look up to, and so everyone's doing their job. Yeah,
because basically these guys are in a position where 99% of the basketball kids in PAL want to be at. Right? They want to be the star. They want to be the star of the state. Because that's the thing, as we in Prep Zone, we kind of focus on the high school. There's something special about playing for a high school. It's great to do with AAU all the travel, but to have the crowd we're going to have here today, the cheerleaders, you don't get that when you play AAU.
No, you know what? The more successful this program gets, the more private schools and prep schools are going to be hovering over some of the kids in this program.
Yeah.
But some of the atmospheres in this gym now, I don't know that you're going to be happy with your decision by trading it in for a half-empty gym so you could
just in front of your parents. It's great in front of your parents, but it's like you won the crowds. It's like you feed off everything.
Yeah.
I just remember last year, think of the environment we're going to have this year in the FCX quarterfinal and final.
Right.
At the Field House. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Those are memories. We had limited success when I was here, and some of my best memories are, a game here against Bridgeport Central, top 5 in the state. We needed one more win to get into the state tournament. We beat them at home in my final home game. There's those memories in the packed gym. That's what I remember. I'm 42 now. That's the game I remember.
Right. Those memories stick with us forever, right? Because they're part of who we are. So as we close up here, they're getting ready to go. Final prediction for the game.
I think we win. I think we win a close one, and I think tonight's going to be a great test.
Absolutely. Jordan, can't thank you enough for being on the show. Thank you for all the work we do with Cal. We appreciate it, and we'll see the results right now.
Appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you.
Absolutely.